The people that are so holy, that God is using them so mightily, could not come and rescue me, could not come look past the outer exterior and come and find me and come and get me. And that's why I'm adamant today. That's why I'm adamant today. Because in spite of where you are, or where you think a person is, there is an entry level to go in and get them. And that's our job.
Rise from the ashes, everywhere that we go, our light be flashing. 'Cause you're alive, yes, you're alive. You can rise, as you're dancing off the ashes. Rise from the ashes, so everywhere that we go, our light be flashing. 'Cause you're alive, yes, you're alive. You can rise, as you're dancing off the ashes.
Take us to the low place. Take us to, because I'm learning things that I didn't know, and I know we just can't go and peel back every single layer, but we get the picture at this point. On the inside, just crushed.
Right.
On the inside, there's just low self-esteem, a very poor self-image.
Right.
Take us to Sandy's low at that point. What was that place? What did that look like, and what was different that you now know that was your low place?
My low place was when I separated from my husband, and I was to take my children with me.
And they were how old at this point?
14 and 12.
So fully aware, the same way you were with mom and dad,
Right.
and no doubt affected as well.
Right.
So you have children who are of an age of understanding,
Right.
possibly have suffered, but you say, I want out.
Right.
Okay.
And I was 14, I think she might be 16. They're teenagers. Let's say
Okay.
teenagers. And they were just getting in school. And then I announced to my husband that I can't live like this anymore. I found enough strength in me to say, I'm leaving.
So here was a lift, a rise again,
It was.
or a snap?
I'm on the beginning of the
Okay.
rise again. And see,
Okay.
like I said, it happens. As soon as you feel like you can come up again, here comes that thing chopping at your tree. And so when I got enough strength to say, I'm getting out, I'm leaving, me and these kids, we're not going to do this anymore. We're just gone. Now, I, again, lower my safety walls and trust him to allow the kids to stay with him, to finish school and stay in the school district that they were in, and so on and so forth. But instead of him keeping the words that we spoke, which was to let the kids stay with you just so that we can get through the school and not uproar their whole life, he turned our agreement into an abandonment for me, for the kids, and sought full custody of our children.
So here comes the legal system now.
So here comes the lead. And so my kids, I had visitation rights with my
So he succeeded.
temporarily.
to a
He
degree.
got temporarily custody of my children. And when he got temporary custody of my children, I don't know if anybody saw Get Out, but I was in my sunken place.
So is this your low?
This is my low. This is my all-time. I'm done.
Explain to us, how did that look from a mental standpoint, from an emotional standpoint? Because you've already explained you were like a walking zombie.
Right.
So there was some functionality. Were you still going to work?
Yep.
Had you fallen into a deep depression and you were shying away? Were friends and family noticing this is not the same Sandy? Because I'm sure they knew what was happening as far as the children and the home and the separation. But
Unfortunately, in my low, there weren't very many people that came to my rescue.
so
I was
you were alone.
consumed
Solo.
in, I was in the church, godly women who should have come to my rescue.
Take us through a day. Take us through being in a sunken place and you wake up in the morning and go through the day.
I wake up in the morning. First of all, after I try to go to sleep, I'm exhausted because I've been up worrying about my children
Through the night.
through the night.
Are there nightmares? Are there dreams? Or just
Nightmares,
up
dreams, like thinking, even dreams that sexual misconduct is happening to my children. And I can't do anything about it. I got to stay over here in my house and mind my business until the weekend when I get them.
And you are living alone.
And I'm living alone, and I'm afraid, and I'm scared. I've never lived on my own by myself.
Ever in life.
I've never been away from my children, ever. And now I'm here, and they're there, and I can't do anything about it. And I know he's a monster, and now I can't have them. Right?
What moms do.
And what moms do. And I get up in the morning. I can't call because it's a drama when I call. I can't set them off because if I set them off, they'll reap the harvest of that.
Now, how were they feeling? Had they turned, or were they still
He was
wanting
talking to
mom?
them about, that I abandoned them. And so they came and they questioned me. One time, they came and questioned me about it. This was all in the low place. I had no words. I said, because I could not explain it. So I had to say, one day, you just understand one day. And I had to leave it there.
You could not even articulate.
Yeah, I was existing. I wish there was somebody who would have come to my rescue and reached me, and at least maybe a seasoned woman of God, maybe. But unfortunately, the world, they love to talk more than they do help. Mm-hmm. The world is that place where they rather scorn you than to come to your rescue and give you a lift.
So no doubt, probably at this point, because you said you were in the church, ridicule, gossip, lies,
Yeah, I'm the
drama.
single woman. I'm the Jezebel. I'm the I'm the talk of the town. I'm the and at the time, I had a flare of dressing, and I'm the they said Jezebel. I don't know why they call them Jezebel because it doesn't make sense anyway. But anyway, I'm everything you could think of. I'm the that is the scorn of the church.
We now recognize this as the lowest of the lowest
the
of the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
Mud,
Right.
dog,
Right.
feces on the bottom of your shoe.
Right.
Where's God in all this? Do you even have enough wind in you to call out to him?
That is my only focus because I have nothing else. And so I throw myself in the ministry like gangbusters.
Now, is that where, because we've established that this is ashes, kind of like in the crematory, there's nothing left. We call them ashes. The scientific name for it is actually cremains, but we call them ashes.
Right.
It's that whatever is left, it could not disintegrate. Mm-hmm. It's the way the body was made, and no matter what heat or fire you put to it, there is no diminishing that.
It's at its
everything
lowest
that can be
breakdown.
diminished is that's it. No more breaking down.
Right.
That's where you are.
I'm at that place.
You've described to us what rise from the ashes means to you. So what did it look like now? You're there. It's the ashes. It's the lowest of the low. How does the rise begin, and what does that look like?
The rise begins, funny or not, a woman came and spoke a word to me. An outside person came and spoke to me, and she told me that you need to get in your word and study that word. She said, and study it hard. She said, because God is going to use you. And sometimes we don't even understand the smallest little thing, because I'm at that place where I'm in the trash heap. You're digging through the trash to talk to the trash now.
Wow.
God's going to use me? Oh, okay. But it was my seed. It was my seed. Because from that point, and the funny thing she said, and you're going to do a marriage classes, you're going to be speaking to the youth, you're going to have a studio for the kids to come and do their music. None of this is in existence. Now, TJG done come up out of there, and marriage classes, all of the things that she said came to pass. But at the time, in the trash heap, where I'm just, like you said, I'm the lowest broke down place. There's nothing else. You can't set it afire anymore. It's all gone.
Gone.
It's gone. I'm there. That's me. And you're telling me now that God is going to use me? I'm hated by
his people. The people that you thought were his people.
Yeah, the people that are so holy that God is using them so mightily could not come and rescue me, could not come look past the outer exterior and come and find me and come and get me. And that's why I'm adamant today. That's why I'm adamant today. Because in spite of where you are or where you think a person is, there is an entry level to go in and get them. And that's our job. And that's our call. And that's the Great Commission.
As believers,
And if God says they're worthy of him sending his only begotten son for, surely we don't have a right to make a determination as to who's worthy of a word to rise to the occasion.
And I feel like as long as there's still breath in
Surely.
their body,
Surely.
that means they still matter to God.
Surely.
Otherwise, he hasn't called them home yet.
Surely. And that was me. And
That
so
was you.
that was the word that I got. And from that, I just began to move forward. Little baby steps. Things
But
I
arise
didn't.
nonetheless.
Yeah, because at the end, I started working toward, just like she told me, get in that word. And the word told me who I was. The
Do
word
you remember
described
any
me.
scriptures that you can pinpoint that stick with you to this day?
Though he slay me, if this is at the hand of God. That was my scripture. If by any chance, Lord, this is your hand on me, I'm good, because I trust you. And so with God, with your hand on me, it's going to be all right. Yeah.
So you rose.
Getting up like this. This is my vision. I see myself getting up. I got this debris on me.
And the debris is what?
The debris is all the things,
The years, the decades.
all of the stuff over the decades, over the years. I was okay. The only thing that burned was the stuff that was on me, the things that was trying to consume me. God had me in the trash heap. I was Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego in the trash heap. Although all of this ash was all over me, when I got up and brushed it off, see, this person here today
Pure gold.
was in the trash heap. Always.
Then
I didn't come from nowhere. I've always been. What got burned away was the depression, was the hurt, was the molestation, the feel of being mishandled, the feeling of being misloved or unloved, or the feeling of being rejected, the feeling of being cast out and cast away. That's what was on me. And when God burned it off, when I stood up, all of that was gone. And so now I do that. I do intentional fires. I set them. I understand. But it's to burn away all of the things that people try to put on you, that the enemy tried to put on you, to weigh you down, sit you in the trash. But when God says pure gold, when you come out as pure gold,
That's what he meant.
that's what he meant.
I don't know of a time he ever told a lie.
He has not.
So when he spoke through that woman that day, and you started executing the plan, because it was
Just
obviously the
reading.
plan.
Just reading the word.
Simple.
Simple.
But those simple steps, now we can meet at the round
At
table.
the round table.
Now we can have prophetess Sandy Powell, visionary, woman after God's own heart, precious jewel, children taken away. Now you have so many children. I mean, can we put a female name on the end of Abraham, since Abraham was the father of me? Okay, Abraham, what can we call her? You have so many children. I mean, just all of these, the list goes on and on and on and on. And who we see today is nothing like yesteryear. Is that really a word? They say
That's
yesteryear.
today. It's your show today. So it's
yesteryear. That Sandy Powell, loving husband who adored you, children who wouldn't, I mean, we all would fight grizzly bears, but those two children who we know don't question the love. There's no abandonment. And not only that, it's what you know and believe about yourself to be true, no matter who comes up against it. You don't even give it a second thought. There is no one in one ear, not the other. You don't even let it penetrate that one ear.
And it's not that I think I'm anything more than what I am. I just don't let the enemy, through people, change in my ear what God told me about me. See, that's all that matters. It's not that I think I'm anything or I feel like I'm on some pedestal. I just believe God, what he said about me. And I don't know why folk want to take that from me, or take that from anybody. But that's what I want to give other people. I want to give others, and that's probably why I have so many folk that call me mom, is because people need that. They need to know they matter, that they are loved, that we believe in you, that we stand with you, that we understand you. Get on up there and do it, because I think that you're the greatest thing ever. People need that, and people are attracted to that. And so for that reason, yeah, I'm mama. I'll be mama.
So with all of that, sharing all of that, and there's so much that I have learned.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be sitting here. I'm tickled, but I'm honored to be sitting here and hearing it straight from you. And I know so much more to come. Is there anything you want to add? Is there anything that we don't know that you want us to know about Sandy Powell rising from the ashes?
I think the thing I want everybody to understand, and it don't even have, it's not even about understanding me, because that was just my little journey. Everybody has a journey. Everybody has a road, a path. And on your path, understand this one thing. Believe what God say about you. And in your journey, convince somebody else what God say about them.
That's good.
See, if we do that,
Hello.
it'll make a great world. You know, we don't always get it right. You know, like I said, I got a trophy room of gotten it wrong. I got a trophy room. But for all of that, I have learned, because that's in the trash heap, that's all the stuff that was on. All of that, I have learned how to do it right. And so now, instead of giving bitter water, I just want to pour sweet water. I just want to give you what's going to make you better. That's it.
And is that how you never return to that sunken place ever again, that desolate place, that place of no hope? Is that how you never,
That's how you
ever, as long as you live, will ever return to that place ever again?
Yes.
In your words, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
That's some good stuff there. That place exists, and it happens in a lot of people's lives. The low points. My low point is different from your low point. Everybody has low points. But I promise you, whatever purification that God is doing in your life is never to destroy you. It's always at the stuff that's trying to attach itself to you, or that has attached itself to you.
Give us a scripture for that.
For
what you just said. Maybe all things work
course,
together.
Of course. Go ahead and preach it. All things do work together. For good. For good.
For the good.
There's only one good.
He's good.
He's good. All things work together for God. And me, created in his image and after his likeness.
Yes, you are.
Oh, yes, I am. See, for that reason, God's always going to give me that way of escape. He's always going to make that provision for me. Not just me, but for you. We're going to have those moments where there's going to be things that's going to be purified off of us, out of us. But in the middle of all that, never think for one moment that God is at you. He's at it.
Good stuff.
That's some good stuff.
So, can we end with this?
Yeah.
I thank you for this opportunity
Yeah.
to meet you at the round table. Awesome. Woman of God, my spiritual mama, my pastor.
Apostle.
P-A-S-S-A. My pastor, my
She's so
mama.
funny.
I love you to pieces.
Yeah.
And so many of us are just blown away at these bits and pieces of your life that we did not know anything about. But thank you for sharing.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for taking that seat and just opening up the window. And I'm quite sure you're going to do this again in other ways. But thank you for letting us in, because we didn't know you then, and we didn't
Right.
know those pieces. And these are not conversations that you just want to walk down memory lane and talk about without a purpose. It has to have a purpose if we're going to open up like this.
Right.
So thank you.
You're so welcome.
Your viewing audience, I know, really, really appreciates this.
I hope that someone sees this that is maybe in that sunken place. That's my hope. That's my only purpose for disclosure. Other than that, there's no reason for it. It's to help somebody else climb up out of that and just know it's all good. It's all good. It's gravy.
So, for this episode of the Round Table, we have it here straight from Mrs. Sandy Powell herself. Thank you so much for tuning in.